Hello friends, in this video we will learn effect of time shifting, time scaling as well as time reversal if done on x of t, how its energy or power gets affected. Let us begin. So first of all we will see effect of time shifting, scaling as well as time reversal on energy signal. First of all, by observation signal is bounded in nature, and second it is finite duration signal. With these two nature it becomes an energy signal. Is that right? What we will do is, for this given x of t signal, before really doing this shifting, scaling and time reversal things, we will see what is the energy of this signal. As I said earlier, if the signal is a real signal, and secondly if it is constant in amplitude, you can use a graphical approach. So if you remember, energy signal by formula, it is integrating over minus infinity to infinity x square of t dt. Is that right? So basically integration gives you area under the curve. So you have to calculate area of x square of t dt. Is that right? So for given signal x of t, if you square the signal, again it will come as a same signal, because square of amplitude 1 is 1 only, and again duration is also not going to change. That is, it will remain 0 to 2 only. Is that right? So this x of t, even after squaring, it will look like the same. Therefore, let us calculate area of this, because integration demands area under the curve. Therefore, it is equal to length into breadth. So length is 1 and the breadth is 2. So it is equal to 2 joules. So energy is equal to 2 joules in this case. That is energy of the given x of t signal before doing any operation out of shifting, scaling or reversal. Now we will see what is the effect of time shifting. So in second figure, we will see effect of time shifting. So given x of t signal, if it is, let's say, delayed by 1 unit, okay, then it will become x of t minus 1. You know that whenever we delay the signal gets shifted to the right by the given unit. So as you can see, it is shifted to right by 1 unit. Now we will try to figure out what is the energy of the signal. In that case, energy is equal to integrating over minus infinity to infinity x of t minus 1 signal square dt. Is that right? So now, by using a graphical approach, because amplitude is throughout time independent, okay, so even if you square the signal, again it will look like same. Okay, so whether it is in original form or a squared form, it is going to give you the same figure again. So why not to take again area of this signal, because integration demands you area of the signal. So this is telling you to take area of this curve. Is that right? So even if you square it, you will get the same figure again. And let me tell you, it will give you same area, because the same rectangle is just shifted to the right. Again you are trying to take area of the same rectangle. Is that right? Therefore, even after using length into breadth concept, you'll get this as 2 joules only. What does that mean? It means that even if you do time shifting operation on given x of t signal, its original energy is not going to change. Or in other words, you can say that there is no effect of time shifting on energy of the signal. Is that right? So in this case, we have tried to delay. Even if you advance, okay, then the signal is not going to change its nature. That is, it is not going to change its energy, because same rectangle, instead of shifting to the right, you will be shifting it to the left with respect to time scale whenever you advance the signal. So shape of the rectangle, until and unless it is not going to change, it is not going to change the area occupied by rectangle. Therefore energy remains same. Same applies to this. That is, now I'm trying to plot x of minus t, which I have already plotted. In this case also, it is giving you same rectangle area. So even after applying this, that is energy is integrating over minus infinity to infinity x square of minus t dt this time. So as you can see, being same rectangle, okay, it is just a time reversal, that is shifting the information which is on right hand side to left hand side. This gives you mirror image of the same signal. So mirror image, again it is going to give you the similar rectangle that is having same length and same breadth. Therefore energy is going to remain 2 joules only. So on the conclusion note, I can say that time shifting as well as time reversal does not affect the energy. Is that right? I repeat, time reversal as well as time shifting, and time shifting can be of two types, whether it is time advance or time delay, it doesn't matter. It is just shifting the figure maybe to the right hand side or left hand side, keeping area under the curve to be same. Therefore, energy does not get affected in case of time shifting as well as time reversal. Now we are going to see whether energy is getting affected when we do time scaling. Let us. So the question is, evaluate energy for x of 2t for previous signal x of t. Let me remind you what was x of t signal. So x of t signal was having an amplitude 1 present from 0 to 2. So x of t does exist from t equal to 0 to 2 t equal to 2, having an amplitude equal to 1. So what I need to plot is x of 2t. So I need to plot x of 2t, meaning that alpha value equal to 2. Is that right? Because in general we say that it is x of alpha t. Alpha is what we call as a scaling factor. In that case, we know that how do we do scaling? We just divide lower limit and upper limit by scaling factor. In that case, it is going to give you rectangle only, but this time length will be lesser, height would be same. This is x of t, this is t. Is that right? And now this becomes a new rectangle, but this time it is present from t equal to 0 to t equal to 1 only. Is that right? So now this is not x of t, this is x of 2t, and we have to get energy for x of 2t signal. Is that right? So energy will be equal to integrating over minus infinity to infinity x of 2t square dt. Is that right? So it is now demanding an integration, that is area under the curve of x square of 2t. So even if you square this signal, it becomes x square of 2t. Nature of the signal is not going to change. I mean, even if you square this, square of 1 is going to remain 1, and duration is also not going to change. Is that right? And if you take area of this, it is length into breadth. So both the values are unity, therefore it is just 1 into 1. Therefore energy of the signal is 1 joule now. So if you have seen energy for signal x of t, how much it was? It was 2 joules, and this time when you calculated x of 2t's energy, it has become 1 joule. That is exactly divided by 2. So on a conclusion note, or in general, I can say that if energy of x of t, let us say it is E, then energy of x of alpha t, that is if you try to scale down by alpha, then the new energy is energy by mod of alpha. This modular sign is very important because whether it is positive alpha or negative alpha, it doesn't matter, because time reversal doesn't matter to energy, that we have already seen on the previous slide. So this is the final conclusion. If energy of x of t is E, then energy of x of alpha t, where alpha is a scaling factor, it is E divided by mod of alpha. Therefore in this case, it is x of 2t is equal to previous energy divided by scaling factor, which is 2, and therefore it has become 1 joule. Is that right? So let us have some important conclusions now. So let us assume energy of x of t is E, then x of t plus minus beta, I mean whether you are trying to shift your signal towards right of the time scale or to the left side of the time scale, that is whether you try to advance or delay, it is not going to affect energy of the signal. So energy of the signal is going to remain energy E only. Also, if energy of x of t is E, then energy of x of minus t is also E. Also, if you try to scale it down by alpha, that is x of alpha t, then the effective energy is energy divided by mod of alpha. Or if you try to do this operation alpha t plus beta, okay, it could be plus or minus, you know that shifting really doesn't matter. What really matters is scaling. Even in this case also, energy gets divided by mod of alpha. So what I can write is time shifting. And time shifting means it is advance or delay, as well as time reversal does not affect the energy. Whereas energy gets affected only by time scaling. Is that right? So anything which is going to modify the curve or area under the curve, then definitely it is going to modify the energy. Even if you try to change the amplitude of the signal, then also it is going to modify the energy. That is, if you try to do this operation, that is k times x of t, you know that it is going to change the amplitude certainly. Therefore, it is also going to change the energy. But let me not put into some formula. Okay. Since now we have understood what is the effect of time shifting, time reversal, as well as time scaling on energy, we will see effect of the same on power also. In this case, what I've done is I have taken a periodic signal here, and we know that every periodic signal, be in any shape, it is always a power signal. And for power signal, especially for a periodic signal, I have given you a special formula to remember. So power is equal to 1 by t for specific time period t, simply x square of t dt. Is that right? So here I will take time period equal to 4. Don't even make a mistake to take time period this much only. Is that right? So you have to see a particular pattern. So pattern is like this: pulse, no pulse, and this pattern keeps on repeating itself. That is pulse and no pulse. Again pulse, there would be no pulse. So this is the pattern which is repeating itself, which indicates a time period. That is a specific time period after which the pattern repeats itself. Therefore, t is not equal to 2. Capital T is equal to 4 seconds. So we'll try to figure out what is the power for the given signal. Power is equal to 1 by 4. Okay. So you don't have to really integrate from 0 to 4. You have to only integrate over a 0 to 2, because for 2 to 4, value of x of t is 0. So I'll integrate it over 0 to 2. Between 0 to 2, what is the amplitude? As you can see, between 0 to 2, amplitude is 1. So it is 1 square dt. Is that right? Or power is equal to 1 by 4. Okay. This integration becomes t, 0 to 2. So if you calculate, power is just half watt. Is that right? So before you apply anything, that is time shifting, time scaling, or time reversal, before that, the original power is equal to half watt. We will now see what is the effect of shifting, scaling, as well as time reversal on power. So don't forget, for given signal x of t, which was periodic in nature, having power equal to half watt. So now they are asking us to evaluate power of x of t minus 1 signal, which is derived from the previous signal x of t. So we know how previous x of t signal looks like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a delay operation, that is x of t minus 1. So now it will be present from 1 to 3, then it will be present from 5 to 7. Is that right? Having amplitude equal to 1 every time. And this is throughout present. So this is new signal x of t minus 1 now. So power will be equal to 1 by t, integrating over some time period. Let us not keep from 0 to t. I'll make it in general square of t minus 1, because this is the signal we are looking for now, right? So let us find a time period here. So if you see a pattern, it will be a pulse and no pulse. So time period equal to 4. So p will be equal to 1 by 4. Is that right? So I'll be integrating from 1 to 5. Is that right? But rather you don't have to really integrate it over 1 to 5. You'll integrate it over from 1 to 3 only, because from 3 to 5 signal value is equal to 0. So I'll integrate it over 1 to 3. During that, amplitude is 1 and it is asking you to square it. So it is 1 square dt, am I right? Again, after solving, you're going to get same power. That is, power is equal to, still you'll get half watt only. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion, it's simply like energy, power also doesn't get affected by shifting. So here I have given you an example of delaying. You can take your own example, you can advance the signal, and you will see that even after advancing or delaying, it is going to remain a periodic signal. It is going to remain power signal. In fact, power value is also not going to change. So on a conclusion note, I can write time shifting does not affect the power. So let us evaluate power for x of 2t signal, again derived from the previous x of t signal. So you can refer x of t from the previous slide. I'll directly draw x of 2t. You know very well what is to be done at x of 2t. Is that right? So when you do this operation, you'll get a new signal. Previously, pulse were present from 0 to 2, but now every time stamp is now getting divided by 2, okay, because of the scaling. So here, if you see in general, it is x of alpha t form and alpha value equal to 2, that is scaling factor equal to 2. So value of t is equal to 2 now. You can observe that. Let us calculate the power, which is 1 upon t integrated over a period x square of 2t dt. So power is equal to 1 by 2. This time I'll integrate it over 0 to 2, but rather there is no need to integrate it over 0 to 2, because from 1 to 2 signal value is 0. Let us integrate it over 0 to 1 only. During that, you have to square the amplitude, and amplitude is going to remain same. Previously also amplitude was 1. Even after time scaling, it does not affect the amplitude, therefore it is just 1 square dt. So now power is equal to 1 by 2. Integration is t, lower limit is 0, upper limit is 1, and even after solving, you'll still get power equal to half watt. If you recollect what was the previous power, you will come to know even in this case power is not affected. Okay, unlike energy, in energy, for x of t, if energy is E, then for x of alpha t, energy was E upon mod of alpha. So energy does get affected because shape of the signal is used to change. Even here, even after doing time scaling, shape of the signal is changed, but still power is not changed. And I'll tell you reason why power is not changed. Because if you see the relation between power and energy, it is like this. Power is equal to energy by time. Is that right? So tell me, after scaling, okay, after scaling by alpha, energy gets modified by E by alpha. Am I right? But you know that not only energy, but time also gets modified to T by alpha. Is that right? In that case, your alpha alpha gets cancelled. So power remains T by T only. So even after scaling, if you compare these two ratios, they are still same. So let us come to the conclusion. Conclusion is that for given signal x of t, if power is p, it doesn't get affected by time scaling, time shifting, time reversal, as well as by time scaling also. Okay. So on a conclusion note, for x of t signal, if power is p, then for x of t plus minus beta, that is you are trying to advance or you are trying to delay by beta, else you are going to scale by alpha, or let's have some combined operation, that is alpha t plus minus beta. In all those cases, power doesn't get affected. Is that right? So in text I can write now. So what we are supposed to write now? Time scaling, time shifting, time reversal. So what we are going to write in the text? Is that right? So time shifting, time scaling, as well as time reversal does not affect power of the signal. So very important conclusion. In case of energy signal, you know that time scaling affects the energy. Time shifting, time reversal does not affect the energy. So let us solve this problem now. Consider the following signal, periodic signal. In fact, it is x of t. Evaluate power of g of t, where g of t is x of t minus 1 by 2. Is that right? So you know what? The signal x of t is given, but they are not asking you power of x of t. They are asking you power of g of t, which is derived from the given x of t signal. So let us see what g of t is. If you see, g of t is x of t minus 1 by 2. Okay, or I can write x of 1 by 2 out I can take, and I can write t minus 1. So you know what you are trying to do? You are trying to scale by some quantity and you are trying to shift by some quantity. And we know that whether you scale or whether you shift, it does not affect the power. Moral of the story, power of g of t will be same as power of x of t. Am I right? And x of t is given to you. So we need not to really calculate power of g of t. We will calculate power of x of t. And even if you try to modify x of t on the grounds of shifting and scaling, it is not going to affect the power. So power of g of t is equal to power of x of t only. But of course, we have to calculate power of x of t. Let us decide a time period. So very important, because it is a periodic signal. Okay, this is a periodic signal, and periodic signals are always power signal, be in any shape. So students generally make mistakes that they take period from 1 to 1 or minus 1 to 1, I mean to say, but you cannot go from minus 1 to 1. Okay, you have to go like this. I mean minus 1 to 1, if you see a signal present, then from 1 to 2 signal does not present. Okay, or signal does not exist. Again from 2 to 4 signal is present, from 4 to 5 signal will be 0. So you have to take this complete as a time period. Okay, so if you see a time period, it would be equal to 3. Is that right? So one thing is clear, that t is equal to 3 seconds. And for periodic signal, we have a special formula. Power will be equal to 1 by t integrated over a period x square of t dt. Is that right? In that case, power is equal to 1 by 3. Okay, this time you don't have to integrate it over from minus 1 to 2. Okay, because from 1 to 2 value is 0 or signal value is equal to 0. So definitely you will integrate it over minus 1 to 1. X square of t dt. Is that right? So see the behavior of x of t signal from minus 1 to 1. You can see it is a straight line passing through origin. So whenever there is a straight line passing through origin, we know that x of t is actually in the form of mt, that is slope into time. In fact, since it is negatively growing line or a line which is going down, will always have a negative slope. So x of t is equal to minus mt is the general form. So let us try to figure out what is slope of the signal. Slope of the signal is what? Change in y upon change in x. So just concentrate in the figure, and I'll tell you the time intervals where you have to concentrate on. See the interval from -1 to 1. I repeat, see the interval from -1 to 1 because I want -1 to 1 x of t behavior only, right? So if you see behavior of -1 to 1, okay, during that it's a straight line passing through origin. So from -1 to 1, I will say change in x is 2. Is that right? So change in x is 2 because we know that what is m? M is slope, that is change in y upon change in x ratio. So denominator is 2 because x is changing by 2 factor. And how about y? If you see value of y here, it is 3, and value of y here, it is -3. So y is changing from +3 to -3. So total change in y is equal to 6. Is that right? And a negative sign here. So what is x of t value? X of t value is -3t. Is that right? So power is equal to 1 by 3 integrating over -1 to 1. Okay. Value of x of t is -3t. So it is -3t square dt, or power is equal to, after squaring -3t, it will become 9 by 3 integrating over -1 to 1 t square dt. Is that right? Or I can write power is equal to 9 by 3, it is t cube by 3 from -1 to 1. So here this all gets cancelled. So now if you try to calculate power, it will become 2 watt. But this power belongs to signal x of t. We know that we have already written that even if you do some scaling operation on x of t, or let's say time shifting operation or a combined operation which consists of scaling as well as shifting, even though power of the signal does not get affected. So this is also power which belongs to g of t. So final answer, power is equal to 2 watt. Is that right? Also we have to see one more category, that is neither energy nor power signal. So I'll show you some categories which are neither energy nor power category signals. See, you know what is nature of energy signals? Okay, so I'll just tell you orally because I'm sure while previous lecture you must have noted down the points regarding energy signal. So I told you energy signals are those signals which are bounded by value. Okay, so these are bounded signal. Secondly, they are finite duration signal. In case if the signals are bounded but infinite duration, then their amplitude must be decaying in nature. Only in that case it is energy signal, right? So I'm sure now you are crystal clear about energy signal. Let's come to power signal. Only those signals are power signal. First of all, they must be bounded. Secondly, it may be infinite duration, and in case if it is infinite duration, amplitude should be throughout constant. I repeat, power signals are those signals which are bounded in nature. Secondly, with infinite duration, but during this infinite duration, amplitude should be throughout constant. In that case, they are called as power signal. And one more thing I told you about power signal, that all periodic signals are power signal, but vice versa is not true. Okay, all power signals are not periodic, but all periodic signals are power signal. Let's understand the third category, which is neither energy nor power signal. So signals with unbounded value nature. Okay, I mean unbounded signals. Okay, secondly, infinite duration. A signal with both nature, that is having unbounded signals as well as infinite duration. Unbounded signal means it refers to an amplitude. So somewhere you will find that amplitude becomes infinity at some given point t, or having infinite duration, or both. Such signals are called as neither energy nor power signal. So we'll see one by one example. You must have seen this example or this signal. In fact, this is popularly known as a ramp signal. Am I right? So you see that it is never ending signal. In fact, at some given point time, amplitude will reach to infinity. And again, if you see area under this curve is infinity, so it is having infinite duration. It is never ending signal. Therefore, it is going into which category? That is neither energy nor power signal. Okay. Or I can give you one more example. A to the power minus 80 u of minus t. Okay. So let us see how this signal looks like. First of all, I'll try to draw e to the power minus 80. So first of all, I'll draw e to the power minus 80. It is, you know that it is negative going curve with amplitude in one in between. Okay, this is t. And we will now see how u of minus t looks like. You know that u of minus t signals are having amplitude equal to 1 only towards left hand side. For right hand side, it is always 0. So now if you try to multiply these two signals, what is going to happen? On right hand side, it is 0. Okay, on right hand side, it is having some curve. You know that curve into 0 is what? 0. And on left hand side, it is having some curve. On left hand side at u of minus t, it is having an amplitude equal to 1. So curve into 1 remains curve. In fact, you will get this kind of curve here on left hand side, and it would be like this. So as you can see, amplitude is growing in nature. At some given time, it will reach to infinity. In that case, unbounded signal category is satisfied. And of course, since it is never ending signal, okay, it is also having infinite duration. Such signals are called as neither energy nor power signals. Am I right? Now, let's say if I'm talking about the signal, you know very well, this is what we called as a signum function. Okay. If you see, they're bounded in nature. I mean, amplitude is throughout 1 at right hand side. Again, amplitude is minus 1 at left hand side. So first of all, it is bounded. Okay. One more thing. Is it having finite duration or infinite duration? Of course, it is having infinite duration because it is never ending signal. It is having infinite duration. During this infinite duration, see the amplitude. Do you think that amplitude is decaying in nature? No. So you can see that during this infinite duration, amplitude is throughout constant, right? I mean, at right hand side it is throughout 1, and at left hand side it is throughout minus 1. So with, I'll say, a constant amplitude. Am I right? So what do you think? In which category it is going to fall into? Of course, it is what we called as a power signal. So this signum function is always a power signal. So as I said, just look at the graph and see what is the nature of the curve. See whether it is bounded, unbounded. See whether it is finite duration or infinite duration. If it is infinite duration, see to it whether it is having decaying amplitude, or whether it is growing in amplitude, or it is having a constant amplitude. And depending upon that, you can categorize that signal as energy signal, power signal, or even neither energy nor power signal. For example, let's say we have such graph. So as you can see, amplitude keeps on increasing here. Is that right? So this type of signal at some given point time will reach to infinity. So first of all, it is unbounded. Is that right? Let me tell you, it is not a periodic one, first of all. So it is unbounded and again having infinite duration. So which category it will fall into? Of course, it will categorize into neither energy nor power signal, right? So with this all session, I'm pretty sure that you are now quite comfortable with energy signal and power signal, and you are in the position just to look at the figure and try to tell what is energy and what is power. Thank you.